Hello everyone, and I hope that you're doing well today. Welcome back to my channel if you're a returning subscriber, and welcome in if you're somebody new. Today I will be doing a review and flip through of the Revival Art Tarot from Taroko Studios. And in this video I'll be talking about this one and a little bit about the second edition. But this is mainly focused on the first one. I'm Leroy, and I am a tarot reader, artist, and occultist, and I love discussing magic, tarot, and saint work, so if that kind of content sparks joy in you, then consider subscribing. I would love to have you stay. Now, let's go ahead and get into the video. So I had my eye on this deck for a very long time, but it was a little bit pricey because it was coming from Norway, I believe, and I think it was over $60. Anyway, and then I saw that they had created a second edition, and the second edition I thought was just the same version as the first one, but just with different kind of borders around the art on the cards and a different card back. But it turned out, much to my dismay, that when I bought the second edition, it actually was a completely different edition than the first one. It was just called second edition. So I waited the weeks for this one to come in the mail, only for it to be a completely different deck than the first edition. So I had to go back and buy the first edition, and I wasn't so happy with the second edition in itself. Some of the art was beautiful, but most of the art I actually did not like, and some of the cards felt extremely religious, had a lot of Christian iconography, which I don't mind religious iconography in general, but for some reason it felt off in the deck. Like the Hanged Man was literally Jesus being crucified. And I guess certain scenes like that, biblical scenes, I feel like I already have a story associated with those images and those scenes. So whenever I try to do a reading, especially intuitively, my mind keeps going to those scenes that are depicted in the cards. So it's just overall, though, I did not care for a lot of the art. I thought some of the art was actually kind of ugly. I know art is objective, but the first edition, I absolutely love almost every single card in the deck, and a lot of the cards are just standouts. They are so beautiful. Like right here, we have the Angel from the Death card, and we have the Little Child from the Sun card. And it's just a very beautiful deck. Now, this deck does not come with a guidebook. I think it came with a little, flimsy paper booklet, but it did not have meanings of the cards. It did not have anything like that. I actually don't even know what happened to the book, to be honest. And this is what the box looks like. It's not one of those sturdy deck boxes. This is just a paper tuck box. It's, as you can see, it already has a little bit of wear on it. For a long time, I wasn't even keeping the cards in the box. I was just keeping the deck out, on my desk. This is the box. It's just a flimsy paper box. So I always try to be careful with it. The cards are not in order because I use them fairly often, and I guess maybe I should have put them in order in retrospect before filming this, but we're just gonna go with it. This is what the card backs look like. There's this little girl. It's reversible. Overall I really like the deck. The cards are like this matte cardstock, and they're not too thick, but they do stick together sometimes, and they're kind of wide, so when I shuffle them, I don't have huge giant hands, so they're a little awkward for me to shuffle, so I just shuffle them like this. But the cards are really nice. They feel really nice. It's like a matte kind of cardstock. There are 78 cards in the deck, and we're gonna go through all of them. Maybe I should have, I'm gonna put them in order, and then we'll be right back. All right, they're all in order now. So we start off with the Fool. Can you see that? Okay, so this is the Fool card. It's okay. I'm not gonna judge every card. I'm just gonna flip through the cards, and I will let you come to your conclusions. Although if I see a card that I particularly like, I may say something about it. So here we go. the Magician, the High Priestess. Alright, so now that I've done a flip through of the deck, I'm now going to go ahead and go through all the cards and actually discuss them. So usually people will decide if they want to purchase or own a deck after the flip through or after the guidebook has been discussed, but this deck didn't come with a book and I already did a flip through, so now I'm just going to talk about my personal feelings about the cards in the deck. So I don't have too much to say about the Fool. I'm kind of neutral towards this one. It's okay. You know, it's fine. This Fool is fine. The Magician is really nice. He looks like he's an alchemist or something. He's mixing something. There's a lot of dark colors in this card, but it's really nice. Like, it's a really nice scene. It definitely has magician type energy. You know, he has his little setup here. We don't see all of the different suits depicted here on his little table, but it's fine. It definitely translates as magician. This High Priestess, she's carrying a small cross of some kind. The lighting is strange, and she's looking very pensive. It's a very, very beautiful card. It's a very dark card. It looks very mysterious. She looks like one of those Greco-Roman statues come to life. To me, very beautiful High Priestess card, especially with the dark colors and the red lighting, like she's sitting somewhere volcanic or something. Very beautiful card. Empress, a woman surrounded by children among pillars. Very beautiful Empress. Usually the Empress is depicted pregnant, so to see her with children is a little different. We don't usually see her depicted with children, but it's really nice here. It works. It translates well. I think it's fine. I could certainly tell that this was the Empress card, even if it didn't have a title under it. Emperor, his crown is kind of covered by this number up here, but it's fine. It is giving king or ruler. Really nice art. It's okay. Hierophant, we are definitely getting clergyman. It's giving pope. Or some kind of papal figure, I don't know. But he definitely looks like a religious guy. It's okay. This is a very beautiful lover's card. Like the way the fabrics are flowing on their garments. And it just looks very like wistful, and it looks romantic, but not in an adult kind of romantic. It almost makes me think of teen love or first love, if that makes sense. They're in some kind of lush area. It's a really beautiful card overall. And then we have the Chariot. I'm not too crazy about this Chariot card. The colors look a little off in their faces. It makes me think of a black and white picture that may have been colorized. Most of the images depicted are of a more older art style, or more like depicting more ancient times, and this is more modern, so to speak. So it's one of the modern cards in the deck that kind of draws me out of the overall vibe of the deck. To me, it doesn't feel like it exactly fits in with the deck overall, but it certainly does give me Chariot vibes. I think the thing that throws me off with this card is probably just the way the faces are colored a little bit. It looks a little off, but I don't hate the card. It's okay. I feel like it could have been better though. The Strength card is really nice. The lion looks very hyper realistic and the woman does not, so I feel like they don't quite exactly match up. But it's still a nice card. It's a nice image, and it's definitely a Strength card if I ever saw one. The Hermit card is absolutely wonderful. He even has a little lantern. It's not lit, but he's in some kind of building, but it looks like to be partially underground. Like it's almost cave-like, which we know has spiritual significance, caves. He's here, he's studying with his books, he's alone, he has his cross, his crucifix that he's looking up at. You know, it's a spooky card because of the little skull there. It's mysterious, but there's nothing creepy about the card. It's a very nice representation of the Hermit. It's just really nice. It has spiritual undertones to it, which I really like. And it's religious, but it's not overtly religious. It's just a really nice Hermit card. I love that he has the book open and he's praying or studying. The wheel. We have an elderly woman with a spinning wheel. And I really like this representation. She's spinning the thread. It could be the thread of fate, the thread of life. We don't know. But I really like this. It's a nice wheel card. It's a nice Wheel of Fortune there. We have Justice. She has not the scales or the blindfold, but she has some kind of scroll in her hand. And she looks very adamant. She looks very determined. She looks powerful. I don't know that it's giving justice vibes, but it is a nice card. It's a nice artwork. She does seem very powerful. So it's a nice card. I like her expression a lot. It's very emotive. But so I don't have a problem with that card. The Hanged Man, to me, this is well, it's not necessarily religious. You know, I know Jesus was lashed, but I don't know if I even get those vibes exactly. This card is very beautiful for all of the expressions across the card. Like, all the people in the background, they all have very distinct expressions. It's really nice. The attention to detail in this artwork is amazing. It's a beautiful card. The man being whipped or flailed, he doesn't look like he's in pain. He just looks like he's just checked out. Like he's out of it, like he's having an out-of-body experience, in my opinion. But, you know, I think this card might be a little violent for some people's taste. There's no blood or anything like that depicted, but he looks like he's about to start getting felled, but because of his expression, he doesn't look pained. He just looks maybe even unconscious, which could speak to being in a limbo state, perhaps. Although because of the imagery resembling, or actually, I guess, being kind of violent, I feel like a lot of people might not care for this card too much. This death card is breathtakingly beautiful. We have an angel appear. I love how there's a light source behind her, but the other side of her wing is in shadow. Maybe representing things that are in the light and things that are unknown. Here we have a knight on his knees, maybe praying to her. Is it for absolution? Maybe he's just astonished that there's an angel before him. We don't know. But it's a very beautiful and evocative image. It's one of my favorite death cards I've seen in tarot, in my opinion. I just really like the angel and the knight here. It's really, really nice. Very beautiful death card in my opinion. Here we have Temperance. There's no angel, but she is here with the two water holders, water jugs. And we see some water dripping into this container. And she's just sitting there placidly, peacefully. It's okay. It's nothing special about this card. It's not bad, but it's not good either. I'm very indifferent towards this Temperance. You know, it's okay. It's a nice picture, I guess. Doesn't look bad. This Devil card is very interesting. We have Pan, or simply just a satyr in general, but he does have the pan flutes back there, holding a woman. We can presume that she is either a mortal woman or a nymph, and he is depicted as the devil. Their expressions are beautiful. The way they are painted is beautiful. It's a very beautiful card in my opinion. I love the way their bodies go across the entire card. It's just another piece of beautiful, maybe Renaissance art, I don't know. I'm no art student or art scholar, but it's very beautiful. I like the flowers in his hair. I just love everything about this card. You know, and maybe we can view him as being something that's seductive. You know, negative patterns of behavior that could maybe seduce us, maybe have a hold on us. You know, maybe she'll give in to these negative seductions, or maybe she'll fight him off and escape. You know, it's an interesting take on the devil imagery, and it was an interesting choice to use for the devil, but I really like it a lot. The art is so beautiful, but aside from the art, I think we can really take it in a lot of different directions when we break it down and we look at it from an intuitive perspective. Next, we have the Tower. This is a very powerful and potent tower card. It looks positively cataclysmic. It looks like a scene from the end times here. There's a lot going on here. It does feel very tumultuous. There's a lot of bedlam going on here. It's like raining fire, like everything's in flames. There's lightning striking down huge statues. The horse is rearing up. There's people, some of them seem to be injured. There's a lot going on, and I absolutely love it. You know, some tower cards feel very peaceful, aside from maybe a small bolt of lightning at the top of the card. This one feels absolutely cataclysmic, like I said. There's a lot of tumultuous energy here. It's a lot of craziness going on, a lot of chaos, but I think it does a good job of depicting certain aspects of the tower card, and I really like it a lot. It's probably in my top 10 favorite tower cards in all of the tarot decks I've seen, and I have seen a lot. This is really, really nice. Very powerful card. Powerful imagery here. We have the star. There's no star on the card, but we have a woman sitting by some water. She almost looks to be levitating over the water. And it's a beautiful card, beautiful artwork. It feels quiet. The card feels very still. It feels serene. It feels quiet. It feels pensive. Even though there's no star visible from the lighting, we can assume it's nighttime because she is outside. It's an okay star. I think because the artwork is beautiful, I feel like it works as a star card. It's really nice artwork. It doesn't exactly give me a star. If we didn't see the title, I wouldn't know what card it was. But in this deck, it works for me. Here we have the moon card, and she is sitting somewhere outside at night, staring up at the sky. And we do have the moon present. It's a beautiful card. She's dressed in maybe a nightgown. And she's outside leaning on some branches, thinking about things, probably questioning her life choices, her predicament, her inner world, her inner desires and thoughts. And I like the lighting of the card a lot too. I like that she's looking up. I like her expression. Really nice moon card here. It's a really beautiful card. I really like it a lot. We have the sun here, a happy child. And he is I don't know, he's kind of silly. He's really huge on the card. He goes across the entire card from left to right, and he reaches all the way to the bottom. There's no sun present, but he's standing here, he's happy, he's dancing with a tambourine, it looks like. And we do have a horn of plenty in the background, a cornucopia with grapes and plants spilling out of it. So it is giving prosperity. It's a nice card. It's happy. It's a whimsical card. I don't know how I feel about it. It's okay. The child looks a little funny to me, but it's a happy card, and it does translate through that. I do get happy vibes from it. Here we have Judgment. There's no main focal point for this card unless it's the angel. It's just a heavenly scene and an earthly scene. We see the angels up here above, standing on clouds. We see some adult-looking angels and maybe some little cherubs. And below, the angel is looking down at a shepherd or a farmer, and he has his livestock and sheep with him. And we have more in the background there. This is a very beautiful card. It's a lot going on, and it's a different take on judgment, but it's almost like the angel is casting his judgment on the man. Or maybe it's telling him something about himself we don't know. But it's a really nice judgment card. We have the world. This is one of my favorite artworks outside of tarot. This is a artwork I've seen a few times. I've always loved it every time I've seen it. We have like nymphs, and we have some centaurs and little angelic children. We have a centaur blowing the conch shell. I really always like this particular artwork, and it works beautifully as the world. It's a gorgeous artwork. I love all the characters and images around the card, even the ones in the background. It's just really nice to me. So that's all. I don't really have too much to say about that one. It's just one of my favorite artworks. I really love it a lot. Now this is the Ace of Cups. I'm not crazy about it. There's some kind of, looks like a snail shell that's been made into some kind of chalice. I don't like it. I don't hate it, but it to me it's just kind of blah. It doesn't look like a cup. There's a container down here which also doesn't look like a cup. In my opinion, there's nothing resembling a typical cup. I guess because it's a snail shell or maybe a seashell or a mollusk shell, and because there are seashells on the card, it's like ocean, like seashells being made into a cup, which I guess makes sense, but from the watery emotional perspective that the cup suit represents. But overall, I don't know if it's the colors on the card or just this one particular container. It looks a little, I don't know, it just looks weird to me. Doesn't give me cup exactly. Two of Cups, however, is really nice. I like it a lot. It definitely translates really well. If it didn't have a title, I would tell you that this was the Two of Cups if I had to take a guess. And also, I really like the greyhound here, if that is a greyhound, like the dog. Three of Cups. The art does give me Three of Cups, but I don't like the way the art looks. The way their faces look, they look a little off. And the coloring looks a little off too. The coloring of the garments, it almost looks like something that wasn't black and white, or something that was very faded, that was attempted to recolorize, like somebody turned up the saturation. It just looks off. Same problem with the Chariot card. The coloring looks really off, and her face looks a little funny. The one on the left. But it's okay, I guess. It could have been better, I guess. Four of Cups is okay. I mean, the child's talking to him, but he's not looking at the child. He looks like he's lost in his own thought. And in the Four of Cups, we normally see someone with 3 cups and a 4th cup is being offered to them. And here, maybe this child is offering this man a solution or an opportunity of some kind. Maybe he's offering him some advice or telling him about something he can do to better his situation. But the old man isn't focusing on what the child is saying. He's just kind of focused on, his own humdrum feelings. That's what I'm getting from it. So to me, as the Four of Cups, it works. And also, it's a really nice artwork, and I really like the scenery in the background. I like to paint myself, so this deck is quite a treat for me. Here we have the Five of Cups. She's sitting somewhere outside. It looks nice. It looks like some kind of kept up garden. There are some flowers on the bottom of the card. And we see an elderly woman, which I appreciate, because sometimes in tarot decks there isn't enough representation of people of different ethnicities or people of different age groups or body types. So, you'll have to see a little bit of variety. I don't know that there are any people of color in this deck, though. So, the Five of Cups, definitely Five of Cups energy. She's dressed in dark colors, which could translate as someone being in mourning or somebody who had gone to a funeral. She does look sad. She looks unhappy, I think. Or at very least, she definitely doesn't look happy. If not sad, then not happy at least. But it's a really good Five of Cups. It definitely gives Five of Cups energy. Six of Cups. We really like this. We have a elderly woman pushing a little child, and we have a little dog here. Really nice. Nice Six of Cups. Good, for childhood memories. I don't understand the Seven of Cups. I'm assuming because she's coming out of the ocean, it's supposed to, I don't know, maybe she's some kind of mermaid. Although she has legs, or a sea nymph, but I don't know, it's not giving Seven of Cups at all. I wouldn't know what this was at all, honestly, if it didn't have a title. It's a beautiful artwork. She has a seashell in her hand with some, looks like beaded necklaces inside of it. And she's offering it up, but we don't see who she's offering it to. I don't know, it's a beautiful artwork, but it does not translate well to me personally as a Seven of Cups vibe. It just doesn't do it for me. I absolutely love this Six of Cups. I love the expressions on their faces. I like this take on Six of Cups. Like he's leaving home. Like it doesn't serve him to stay home anymore. He's ready to strike out on his own. Maybe his home life wasn't good. Maybe it was and he just needed to take a break. Maybe he just needed to change environment. And we see the expansive land behind him. We see mountains and misty terrain, and it stretches far and far and far. And he's taking his steps away from his home, we can assume where he was raised, to go out on his own personal journey. He's in search of something and he's leaving behind things that no longer suit him, no longer serve him, or things that he's simply outgrown. I really like this take on the Six of Cups, Eight of Cups, a lot. It's really, really nice. It's one of my favorite cards in the deck. Nine of Cups, it definitely gives Nine of Cups energy. It's like he's pouring a drink to celebrate something, because we see all the barrels behind him. Maybe he owns his own whiskey or liquor business. His expression is kind of funny. I don't too much care for this artwork. It's okay. It's not a grave offender or anything. It's okay. It's a nice artwork. It does sort of give me Nine of Cups energy, but it's not one of my favorite artworks. It's one of the more modern arts in the deck, and to me, it just doesn't really add anything to the deck overall. I feel like it's not a really strong Nine of Cups. It's okay though. I don't hate it. He's okay. He's a pleasant old man. Here we have the Ten of Cups. We have a nice family scene, and it works. It's okay. I don't have any feelings towards or against this card. It's a nice card. We see all the family members are smiling, and that's all you really need with the Ten of Cups. It's a really nice card. Page of Cups is okay. There's not much to say really. It's just a child, and I am glad that the pages are represented as children, because sometimes they aren't, and I find that a little odd when they aren't, because to me pages they always give me children vibes, because for obvious reasons, I would imagine. But this is the Page of Cups. It's okay. It doesn't really give me cups energy. It's a cute picture, I guess, but it doesn't really do much, intuitively speaking. Here we have the Knight of Cups. There's not really much that give me cups energy either. I find with the court cards in this deck, they don't really give much in regards to their suits. They're just more like random historical images that were just tacked on to the suits. So they don't really do anything for any of the suits in my opinion overall. I think that's one of the takeaways for the deck. If I cut off all the titles from all the cards, when it comes to the court cards, I would not be able to tell you which one goes to which suit at all. The Knight of Cups is okay. Queen of Cups, here, it's a pretty picture, but I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell you which suit she belonged to. Same thing with the King of Cups. Here we have the Ace of Wands, we have the King's crowns and accessories, and I guess that's a royal scepter, which I guess could translate as a wand, so I guess it works. Here we have the Two of Wands. She looks a little sad to me. She's pensive. You see a little animal in the background. To me, this card seems kind of dreary for a Two of Wands, but it's okay. It's a nice artwork, I guess. Here we have Three of Wands, one of my favorite artworks of all time. Well, not of all time, but just in general. I've always liked this artwork every time I would see this painting anywhere else. Really nice, really nice. And yeah, that's all I have to say about it. But I think it works as a Three of Wands. And I actually have another deck, the Influence of the Angels Tarot, and they actually used this exact same card as the Three of Wands also, except in their version there are 3 wands superimposed or combined into this artwork. And I actually don't have that deck handy. It's in another room, and I'm not going to go get it right now, but they actually have the same artwork. Four of Wands, not crazy about this art at all. It's a celebratory scene, and it translates well for the meaning of the card, but I don't like the way the card is colored. Again, like the coloring looks really off to me. like it was colored with Technicolor or something. And I'm not crazy about it, to be honest. Here we have the Five of Wands. I like it a lot. It's a silly card. And we have the two little kids annoying this little girl. I mean, she doesn't look like she's in pain or anything. She just looks irritated. Like it's just kids being kids. It has a playful, non-serious vibe to it, and I really liked it for the Five of Wands. Because Five of Wands can be competitive, it can be very serious, or it can be more lighthearted competitiveness. You know, there's a lot of different ways to take the Five of Wands, and I like that they didn't make it something serious. Because I've seen some Five of Wands depicted as very violent scenes or very serious looking scenes, and I like that they took a lighthearted approach with this card. I like it. It makes me laugh every time I see it. It's a funny card. I really like it a lot. Six of Wands. We have our boy riding in on a white horse. Yeah, it's giving me Six of Wands. He doesn't have a procession, and he doesn't have like the laurel leaf or anything around him to say, but he looks like he's on top of the world. He looks like he's on top of his game. He looks happy, and I think it works as a Six of Wands. Seven of Wands. I don't know what to say. I mean, he's standing his ground. I mean, he saved the lamb from the lion. You know, he's on top of it. He has a weird expression to me. He looks a little weird, but it is a nice artwork though. It's a nice art. I like the lamb a lot. It's okay. Eight of Wands. You know, messages are coming in. She seems like she's flying in. And she seems like she's flying in on the wind, the way her hair and her fabric, because it's not clothing, is flowing. It makes me feel like she's very like wispy, like she's riding in on the wind, like she's lighter than air. And I feel like that translates well for Eight of Wands. Nine of Wands, we have our battered and bruised warrior. And it works. Not crazy about the art, you know, but it does work within the deck. Ten of Wands, same thing. Not really crazy about this artwork, but she is carrying a lot on her back, and it is giving burden. Page of Wands, it's very blah to me. It's not giving me much of anything. Same thing with the Knight of Wands, which I also don't really care for this artwork. Queen of Wands, it's nice art, but it's just there, I guess. King of Wands, also kind of just there. His armor is painted nicely. Ace of Swords, there's a lot going on in the picture. There is a sword there, but it's not really the focal point. There is a sword down here, but it almost perfectly blends in with all the stuff in the background. So to me, it's a very weak Ace of Swords, in my opinion. Two of Swords is really nice. Instead of having the two swords, there are two little angelic children, two little cherub children, and they are whispering in her ear, maybe telling her to make different kinds of choices, like the two angels on the shoulders, or like the angel and devil on the shoulder. So I really like that. I really like this Two of Swords a lot. Here we have the Three of Swords. She does not look sad or unhappy. She just looks like she's just kind of spaced out to me. I mean, it's a nice art, I guess, but it definitely doesn't give Two of Swords energy to me. I mean, Three of Swords energy. She just looks kind of bored to me. Here we have the Four of Swords. It's really nice artwork. I like the dog here. His face is partially covered by this, like, the accents on the border, this, like, design around the border of the card, which I'm not crazy about. Maybe they should have had it to where the border goes, like, behind his head. I don't know, but it's a nice card, though, nonetheless. And I love all of the black space in the card a lot. It's, like, unknown. It's, like, darkness. It's, like, thinking about something. It's like the unknown. It makes you think of the subconscious, and when you're introspective and the darkness within the inner world and the inner shadow, there's a lot of ways to take it and to analyze it, but I really like it a lot. Five of Swords, I mean, you could view her as maybe pulling on her dress, but it more looks like she's just like trying to get her attention. It doesn't give me any kind of Five of Swords energy at all. And also the art used was obviously very cracked, so there's cracks going across all of the artwork. It doesn't bother me, but I feel like it might bother some people. It almost looks like lightning. And to me, it's an extremely weak Five of Swords card. It does not give me anything Five of Swords like. Six of Swords, there are people being ferried in a boat. They look worn out, maybe tired. And the card is very, murky and dreary. And it has a forlorn kind of a vibe to it, in my opinion. And to me, that's not Six of Swords. To me, Six of Swords is more of a relief kind of energy, like you're leaving a bad situation going towards something better, or you're just leaving choppy waters for more calm waters. And it works as a Six of Swords, but I feel like Six of Swords should be a more happy vibe, I guess. Here we have the Seven of Swords. The way this man is, first of all, I absolutely love the art. Tarot aside, I just love this artwork a lot. The way the man is in the background, it makes me think that he is invisible. I don't know why, but I feel like he's invisible and he's like pulling the strings or manipulating the situation between this man and this woman. And that's definitely what I'm getting from it. It's a very beautiful card. That's how I feel about it, and that's why I feel like it works as the Seven of Swords for me, but I feel like with other people they might not view it that way, so it might not work for everyone. This video is running really long because I'm giving my 2 cents on every card, and I've never done that before, and I don't know why I'm doing that now, but I'm in too deep, so I'm going to keep on. Here we have the Eight of Swords, and it, she does look like she's distraught, for sure. She's standing on top of a bed, and if you look closely, there's water in the room. It's almost up to the top of the bed, actually. The room is flooding, and I think that's a very powerful way of depicting the Eight of Swords. It's like she's being overwhelmed by her emotions, almost like they're going to overtake her at any moment. And because there's of the water, it's like she's trapped up there. And there's nothing holding her up there. Sure, she can jump down and try to seek her way to safety, but she's just up there, distraught. And I really like this Eight of Swords a lot. I like it a lot. I think it really works. Nine of Swords. It's a good Nine of Swords. She looks upset. She doesn't look upset. She looks almost numb. Like she looks like she's depressed. Like she's deep in a depression. She looks numb. But it works. It works. For me, it works. It looks like she didn't get any sleep the night before because she was just up all night, stressed out, and now it's the next day, and she's just numb to it all. That's what it's giving me. And we have the Ten of Swords, some type of funerary rite, looks like. But it works. To me, it works. It's an ending. It's an ending. But because of the darkness of the day in the picture, it almost looks overcast. Like it's an ending, but it's not necessarily a good ending. So to me, it works as a Ten of Swords. Here we have a Page of Swords. Just a random artwork. Nothing to do with anything. Our Knight of Swords, lo and behold, is actually holding a sword. So props to the person who chose this artwork for this deck. Thank you for that. Queen of Swords. King of Swords. Not crazy about this artwork. Ace of Swords. Ace of Coins. Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Coins. Oh, I guess my neighbors feel like making noise today. That's fine. Here we have the Ace of Coins. I don't know what this is. It looks more like a plate to me. I don't view it as a coin, so it looks funny to me every time I see it. It kind of throws me off. It looks more like a shield or something. I don't know what it is. I'm no historian, but it works. I mean, it's gold. It's disc-like, so I guess it works, but I don't care for this card. Two of Coins. This works, I guess. She's balancing her water. It would have made more sense if she was balancing something else, in my opinion. To me, it's a weak Two of Coins. It does work, though, so I guess I'll leave it be. Three of Coins. Don't too much care for this artwork. We see somebody at a window. We see two men talking in some kind of workshop. where it looks like he's doing some kind of woodworking. So I guess it works if you think about it from like that perspective, but I don't know, maybe the person in the window is taking an order from him or pasting an order, I don't know. But I don't really care for this scene that much. I don't know why. Also, there's a rabbit in the corner. Rabbits. But it's okay. I don't really care for the scene though. It works, but I don't really care for it. 4 of coins. We have this man with this funny expression, and he's counting his coins. I do like this card. I didn't like it at first, but the more I've used this deck, it's kind of grown on me. He doesn't look like angry or like a Scrooge character. He doesn't give me miser, but maybe he's just somebody who puts more emphasis on his money, and he's here counting it, but he doesn't look upset or worried, and I appreciate that. We have the 5 of coins. I think it's a beautiful 5 of coins. We have a little dog. We have this downtrodden. They look downtrodden to me. They have a basket with wood in it, and the wood looks like black charred wood. They don't look happy, and they look like they're somewhere out. It looks like it's been snowing. They're out at night in the cold. We see dead trees, so we can assume it's winter. They're out in the cold and winter, and we see some light shining on their faces. Some warm light shining on their faces, and they're looking up at it. And I really, really like that a lot. It's like, I don't know, I feel like I had to use my context clues for this card, and I feel like it really worked. This video is going to be like an hour long, I swear. And here we have the 6 of coins. We see this woman and this little girl handing this food to this beggar man, and I really like it a lot. It works. 7 of coins. We have a gardener showing over a garden. It works. And we have 8 of coins. A man working at his craft. He looks like he's a shoemaker, cobbler. And I don't care for this artwork. The art looks kind of weird. The way it was painted, like the art is so old, and it's like it wasn't taken care of. I don't know, the art just doesn't look right to me. Very nice 9 of coins here. And 10 of coins, to me, is an awful 10 of coins. Probably, I don't know, probably my top 3 least favorite cards in the deck. It just doesn't give me 10 of coins. We see a man maybe shopping for antiques or for furniture. A well-dressed man shopping for furniture, but to me, it's just an awful 10 of coins. It just doesn't look like anything. Also, I don't really like the way it's painted. Like, it looks smudgy, and I think that was like what they were going for, but within this deck filled with like very pristine and very detailed art, it looks, kind of sticks out a little bit. Here we have a page of coins, a little boy reading. I appreciate that. 9 of coins. You know, just a 9. Queen of coins. Just a woman. And King of coins. A man. I guess his suit jacket looks maybe more finer than the other kings, so maybe that's his indicator. That's what sets him apart from the crowd. But yeah, so overall, I really like the deck. To me, it's really nice. Beautiful cards. A lot of really powerful energy. I'm going to end what I'm talking about here. That is my review. Very, very specific review for the Revival Art Tarot. This is edition 1, first edition. Or just, yeah, first edition, I guess, since there's 2 editions. It's completely different than the second edition. But this is the deck. This is the deck box. It is definitely not this one. So do not get them confused like I did, because they're not cheap. So it is this one. I hope you enjoyed my flip through of this deck. I flipped through it, and then I went back through it and talked about each individual card. If you're still here with me at this point in the video, I don't know why he stuck around this long, but I appreciate you. I appreciate your viewership. This is one of my absolute favorite tarot decks out of all the ones I own, and so I'm glad to finally show it here on my channel. I don't know if you can still buy copies of this, and from what I saw, the only place you could buy it is on Etsy from the person who made this deck. I'm pretty sure this deck is self-published, and I think it came from like Norway or Sweden, so it took weeks to come. It took really, really long to come, and it was expensive. For me, I think it was over $60. I almost want to say it might have even been 70. I'm going to say it was between $60 and $70, mostly because of all the shipping from it having to ship so far away. I'm very happy with it, and it was absolutely worth it. This was not worth it in my opinion, not for that price, but you know, I made a mistake and it was fine. But yeah, that's my review for it. If you enjoy this kind of content, then if you enjoy this video, then drop a like, and if you enjoy this type of content, then consider subscribing, as I post videos fairly regularly. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your viewership, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.